just want to say thank you again for this last panel. I have to say I love a panel discussion that starts off with how do we create chaos. I just love that. So thank you to everybody in that panel. It was really wonderful. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our next panel. And if you want the full description of the panel, please check out your schedule and that all the information is there. This is the Coded Kinship panel. And I get to have the pleasure of introducing our panel, or our head for the panel, Sheila Yang. And Sheila is a staff member at the Arts Center. She is a passionate leader and deeply dedicated to the community. She is involved in multiple organizations and committees, such as the Hmong Mutual Assistance Association, City of Sheboygan Board of Marina Parks and Forestry, Sheboygan Hmong New Year, Sheboygan Hmong Summer Festival, the Hmong Women's Society, and more. She's very busy. Sheila is a committed Hmong cultural advocate, and she also, if you don't know, she moonlights as a singing artist, and she's really, really good. Oh, you're there. She was part of our Levitt Amp concerts in 2022, and I've seen her perform at the Hmong New Year a few times, and really incredible artistry. So let's give a warm welcome to Sheila Yang as she leads us into this panel. Thank you.
Hello, Nyojong. Thank you, Anne, for the introduction. And that was very nice and thoughtful of her. She made me feel kind of, good and shy, but I got this. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ann Browski, Jody Throckmorton, and Tanya Gayer. Also, thank you to Pachia Lucy Vang and to Thu Saiko Lee for this opportunity to be a facilitator for Cloth as Land panel discussion. Moving forward, this panel discussion will be about Coded Kinship, Cloth as Land. This presentation features a video screening and panel discussion on the historical use of coded meaning in Hmong art as a way to preserve oral traditions such as poetry, storytelling, and more. The intergenerational panelists will share their initial reactions to the screening of Spicy Legacy Project, short film from their perspective as cultural art practitioners. The panel discussion will explore the importance of our oral tradition like Gutsia, which is poetry chanting, Hmong, which is Hmong songs, and Tieraning, which is storytelling, in preservations of Hmong cultural identity. In addition, there will be a conversation about the newer generation's revitalization of the Hmong language through contemporary song and poetry. Now, let us give a warm welcome to Gomhong Vang. Gomhong is a passionate young man. Whatever he set his heart on, he makes sure to go all in. Such things to go do from this is his love for music. He's a multi-instrumentalist, compatible of playing two or more instruments, which I've seen and heard, and he's very good at playing the guitar. He serves his local church with this and teach others how to play as well. He also has a passion for serving people, doing the most he can, whether it be in HVAC field when he is working or volunteering in the community. So let's give it applause for Gomo. Next, let's give a warm welcome to Victor Yang. Victor is a high school student who is a senior this year and will be graduating. He is a Hmong funerary instrument player and a rice maker, Nia Omo. Community collector, Sining, which is a Hmong shaman, as well as he is an LGBTQ youth. Victor has been a shaman for about 10 years since last summer of 2014 and has helped the Hmong community before COVID spike in 2020. Within the past current years, he has gotten an understanding of traditional oral dialogue, including Tsai, Balu, and Bahua, which are used quite often in shaman ritual, wedding ceremonies, and funeral rituals, including folk songs such as same thing, Kutsia, Tsai, and Lutao. So let's give a warm welcome again to Victor. Next, another warm welcome to Jua Lee. Jua Lee begins teaching all levels of Hmong language and culture at University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2007. She has also coordinated and taught intensive Hmong classes for the Southeast Asian Studies Summer Institute. She also commits significant effort and time to developing instructional materials for Hmong that are based on communicative approach to language teaching. She is an experienced ESL teacher for adult learners and in the Madison area and serve as a Hmong language translator for clinics, hospitals, mental health institutions, and other health care providers. In her spare times, Chua likes to read, sing, and practice Hmong folk songs. Let's give Chua another hand of applause. Lastly, let's give a warm welcome to Tu Saiko Lee. Tu Saiko Lee is an artist, educator, hip-hop advocate, storyteller, and spoken word poet from St. Paul, Minnesota. Tu is known for intergenerational performances with his late grandmother, Zhua Jia, who performed the traditional Hmong poetry chanting, which is Kutsia, for over a decade before her passing. Tu received the Bush Foundation Leadership Fellowship in 2016 to focus on research of how communities of the Hmong diaspora, including communities in Vietnam, Australia, China, and Thailand, use traditional arts as a way to preserve cultures. Tu's newest project facilitates teaching artists, apprentices, youth, and elders in an intergenerational creative project titled Spicy Legacy Project. Again, let's give another round of applause to all of our panelists.
Yeah. Yeah. Cứ tới xa tí chỉ mua những kỹ đó.
Yeah, we're gonna play the video for Spicy Legacy.
So there is a video that will be played here, and it is featured on the Spicy Legacy project.
The Spicy Legacy Project is an intergenerational creative process where we facilitate working with youth, elders, and have them interconnect with each other through storytelling circles, but also bringing their artistic forms from their eras and trying to fuse them together. The original inspiration for Spicy Legacy Project is from my own intergenerational collaboration with my grandma, Zhuo, who did this traditional art form in Hmong culture called gutia, so it's traditional poetry chanting. And I made a connection to what she does, and she made a connection to what I do as this oral tradition that is a continuation. I understood that we were both, artists that has spoken art forms. And through that connection, I started interacting more with grandma, collaborating with her, and learning, just being more connected to my roots, my cultural roots. Through that process, I wanted to create a project that would facilitate for other youth and elders in other communities, whether it's other locations or other cultures, to come together and collaborate intergenerationally. So it's this process that's been developed called Spicy Legacy Project.
So they come to the realization that this is revitalization.
Listen, I've been learning some lessons this past year. I've reached success is something that I fear, but I cannot forget the name that I hold. Announce my name with Chang, yeah, make it known. Look my best, try my best, expressing what's in my head from my chest. God put me to the test to be the best. I know I gotta take it. Everything is mine, no debating.
So for me, being somebody who is an ambassador or a bridge to connect these students to their Hmong language was rewarding because it connects to my own experiences of connecting to my own language through songs. Seeing them build that courage and then finally performing it for an audience, being willing to have the confidence to just go on stage and express their Hmong language. So I thought that was really amazing.
The power's ours, no time to fear, no time to cower, and we are here to fight the battle.
Nasdi is a rapper from Sheboygan, so homegrown. And she's one of the most intimidating rappers, Hmong rappers out there, because her voice is so strong, as well as her lyrics hit really hard. And we had a workshop where we were reviewing one of Nasdi's verses. What surprised me was that after she did the verse, and we asked the elders what they thought about her verse, they could actually appreciate her verse, because she's not the typical stereotype of what they would want a Hmong woman to be. She was very strong with her vocals, and it was about us having a voice in this society. And so that was definitely a connection with the elders appreciating how the young people are creating a new way here in the United States. And I was very surprised that, even some of the students who had little to no exposure to Hmong language challenged themselves and really were courageous to not just write in the Hmong language, but actually perform in the Hmong language. And I think that was something that was really rewarding to see, was students that were willing to just put themselves out there. And I think for them, it's connecting to their cultural identity too, that they felt it was missing. And learning and being able to speak the Hmong language, even on this scale of lyrics, was a way for them to feel connected. And I think that was very powerful to see.
Cú mua game ô xua của cất tàu bây giờ yam của đây cha cất tàu cú hai cho lu cất chinh tàu bê công tê yellow okay.
Yeah, this generation gotta get some inspiration. to the OG generation to make them show some appreciation to our new creations.
Once I'm done with my reformations, there will be a new transformation. The OGs won't be proud of my deviation, but in the end, it was my crystallization that allowed me to be one with the beautiful cultures creation. Yeah, babe, yeah, HMong, yeah. Reppin' Shackle, baby, that's my team, ma. Saying all these words, yeah, Naple chai, blah. Spitting on my bars, come eat, nah, ma.
As time passed, my emotions relaxed. I just can't forget about the past.
Wanting you to face your fears, but you already know it's here. You can't seem to let it go of what you already know.
La do zhe bi mi nhua mong la lu xie sa ma la.
Well, from this video, before we continue, I'd like to let everyone know that some of our students are also here with us, and they're in the crowd. If you can say hi. They are called HMong group from North High School. And also our Gutsia poetry chanter, who you see that she was also part of the video. Ning, if you can also wave hi and let everyone see you. Thank you to Ning and HMong group. Without you, this video would not have been possible. So thank you very much. If we can give them all another round of applause. Okay. So, based on the video that we just saw, the Spicy Legacy project video, what are your reactions to the video? Let's start with you two.
Hi.
Hi.
I just, I think one of our main themes, like first, I'm just very proud of being able to continue this work after the passing of my grandma. And for me, to continue that legacy of intergeneration, I wanted to work with other communities to create opportunities for intergeneration. And so I just want to really, it had to be the young people who have the courage to work with the elders, and the elders to have the openness to in a way, it's not breaking tradition in a bad way, but to go a little off tradition, to be able to work with the youth. Because I remember Tai Neng had to freestyle a bit, and that's a big part of it. And that's something I realized from my grandma, which the whole book that I'm writing about grandma is about my grandma could freestyle. And I remember Tai Neng was actually responding to the young people's poetry, because she was listening to it, and I thought that was just amazing. And that's just a testament of the skills that our elders have that we need to continue to preserve. But then so anyways, I just wanted to ask, do you remember what revitalization means?
Yeah, so revitalization is bringing older traditions to the modern society with new techniques that work with the new and
Yeah, so for me, I'll just say this and then I'll pass it on. The beauty for me with grandma is she had these skills of singing kutia since she was 9 years old. And she didn't have a platform for it. And for me, the best thing about us collaborating is it gave her up stages to perform. And she was able to, she got more fans than I did when she would perform with me, you know, because I would see, because she'd have a huge crowd around her after every performance, and I'd have like a couple people. And so, but I was like, you know, this is hopefully this new hip hop can provide a platform for Gutsia. And so I think that that's something that I'm proud to honor Grandma's art form with. So.
Perfect. I'll go next. Yeah. First reaction. Number one thing, my haircut was so bad. I was I saw it, right? It was like to the skin and then like bushy mushroom. If you watch the video again, I'm very sorry, but that was first reaction. But secondly, I'm so humbled because when we were playing, if you heard the guitar, same 4 chords, but the flow is different for each singer because everyone follows a different tempo and all that. And with Tai Ning, she had her own flow as well. I never played with that before. I was like, wow, because it's so foreign and it's way beyond overseas. Because I learned everything here, but hers was from the fields of Laos or wherever. And I'm like, man, like whatever she's bringing here to the table, like I can't match it because maybe one day I will. But it was just so beautiful. But within the guys over here, you guys did really good. I was like, sometimes I played a bit extra because they felt the flow. And within being here, I'm very honored, and I hope to share my flow with you guys as well.
Testing. Okay, well, good morning. Goyim Minji Tsutsuka, so my throat's kind of dry. Same, sorry. Anyways, good morning, everybody. So, my initial reaction to the video is that a lot of projects that I've seen with the modern and traditional generations, you know, when they're trying to mix together, it's kind of hard. But all I know is that through Cycles, his project is one of the very better projects I've seen that I've gone through. And I lost my train of thought, so I'm sorry about that. But this project is a really good project because it incorporates a lot of the traditional sense and then a lot of the modern sense, and how bây giờ mình ở Hmong traditional, so how as Hmong kids, I would say our Hmong kids because I am still one of the Hmong kids, but how the Hmong kids now, they can learn how to incorporate the traditional Hmong oral and the Hmong tradition in general with today's life, you know.
Okay. Hello. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank all of the organizers who bring this together, bring all of us together. And without you guys, it won't be possible. After I already watched the show before, I was really proud of Saikao, who's putting this art together. Traditional artworks, and bringing everybody together and bringing the new generation to appreciate the old traditional art form. And Gutsia and songs are forms of art. So I really treasure, and that is in my study and also in my area. So I really love the videos, and I really appreciate that everyone are putting this up together. We should be able to share with our new generation nowadays so they can see that our tradition cannot just be our tradition. We can do something with it and bring it back into our culture and into our life, because our tradition is where we come from. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I see that all of us too have a lot in common and have a very good idea of understanding where Gutsia and a lot of our oral traditions are coming from and where they're going. But before we continue, as you all may know, that we will be speaking a lot of Hmonglish. I call it Hmonglish because it will be a lot of Hmong and English mixing, only because the topic that we are talking about with poetry, chanting, and Hmong, we call it Gutsia. So there are certain things we'll be giving examples, and we won't be able to translate them into English, but they will be sing or performed in Hmong. So as we continue, there are four topics here that we will be talking about, and they are Gutsia, Hungao, Tietzai, and Bahua. Now, with these 4 topics, I'm not even going to bother trying to sing them or chant them or something, but I do have the expert here next to me, and I will let them show you the differences. And as we go through, I will, along with the panelists, will also explain what they are, and we'll go from there. First off, we're going to start with Kutsia. Kutsia is poetry chanting, so I'll hand that over to you, Chua.
Okay, so many of you have heard Kutsia. Kutsia, what is Kutsia? Kutsia is composed of many forms of we call components in the Kutsia. So Kutsia, without this component, it won't be Kutsia. So we have the balu, we have the enhancement, which is the sweet words, and we also have the rhymes. So with the balu rhyming with the Giallo, we call Giallo, is the meaning of the song. So we're starting with the Palu, where it takes you to the Giallo. So when a person sings Kutsia, you already know right away when she starts chanting or singing the Kutsia, and you hear the Palu, you already know where she's going to take you to. And with Kutsia, it have couplets. So traditional standard, we have at least 3 couplets. And in each couplet, you can sing 1 couplet. 1 couplet is 2 paragraphs. So in each paragraph, if you're just gonna, like I wasn't gonna perform today, I'm only gonna sing 1 couplet. So, but if you're just gonna sing 1 couplet, you wanna make sure that you have an ending. Hmong has a way of saying that if you sing a Kutsia and you have no ending, you're gonna have ugly kids. So I was like, okay, so I have to end my story. So you have to end your story. If you don't, something's gonna go wrong. So that's why it's traditional to sing. I think the notion of it is the parents just wanna elicit your language to see how knowledgeable you are, how skillful you are, and how smart you are. Because Kutsia, in the old days, when we want to choose a girl to be our nya, which is our daughter-in-law, I will go to the New Year and walk around and listen to these girls singing. And if this girl sing beautifully with complexity of Kutsia, I know that this girl is very smart. And if she marry my son, her life will go, my son's life, not her life, my son's life. For me to looking for a girl for my son is for the benefit of my sons. She's gonna be a great wife in my son's life. So that's how Kutsia is coming from. Kutsia, not just a Kutsia. Kutsia represent history, represent individual drama, individual curiosity. So we have different type of Kutsia, which Tusaka will be covered in the workshop. So my Kutsia today is 1 couplet. A couplet, I'm going to sing the Kutsia of courtship. So Kutsia, this song is represent 2, a boy and a girl who court. However, they make promises that if somehow, somewhere down the road, if they do not end up together, please remember that we have dated, and please keep me in your memories. So I'm gonna sing the Kutsia, a courtship form, okay? And to sing Kutsia, I have to stand up, because if I don't stand up, I can't sing Kutsia. And singing Kutsia, we don't hold a song and sing. It's called oral traditional, oral form, and we keep our history, we keep our tradition in the song, okay? So this is a courtship form song where between a girl and a boy that make promises that one day, please remember me in your thoughts. Ni ya nya gambo a pli lư lầu mô tu bò ca mu lỡ lò a pli lư du e si tu ư ni dao shi mi khâu plăng go đạo rong hoa lúa nô đã chi tao lò đăng chi hoa lỡ lò chi e ya ca chủ trong tia cỏ lâu ta tòa cũ lâu đua e ya ca chủ trong tia nu ta chẳng mu lỡ lò bữa thảo e ư ni tao đã mu lỡ lò chỉ tao lu mò ni ya chỉ tu mi ca bò plei lư lao em bò ca mu lỡ lò plei lư cho mò mông plăng gầu đậu rong hoa loa nó chỉ tao e cho cá lỡ chủ trong tia nu tư cỏ lâu ta tòa cú lâu đua e cho cá chủ trong tia nu ta chẳng mu lỡ lò qua thảo loa e ư ni tao đã mu lỡ lò chỉ tao yuo kê ni khi xa hoa loa nó mu cha nu tua. So the ending saying that, please remember, we have dated, but we didn't end up together. It's breaking my heart to the end until my last breath. Tôi chết tiếc. Okay.
Thank you. That was awesome. I can't do that though. And I'm sure there's a couple of you that can, but I don't think I would remember to even put two paragraphs together for one cup. Couplet. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Can you? I believe Victor can do it, but I don't think Gomo or you can also haiku.
He can do it, and he's 18 years old.
So next is titsai. And what is titsai? Titsai is more like a rhyme, a guessing rhyme. And that I will hand it over to Victor, if you can give us an example. Titsai ke Victor malipia nia titsai ni ken lu jong ya lu
It's a guessing game. It's a clue.
Yeah, Jongolia shi tu na ya, ika hai lu shi tu na.
Cái bí chữ hai tia cú hai ít họ sẽ xài cái là tia cú chia cái xài. I'm gonna give you a clue and you give me the answer. Yeah.
Okay. So Victor, how about you get one?
So vấn đề cú hai cú khó là chế chia xài chế hai topic cho lo rong ya. So for our younger people, a definition of it is lu zhai or hidden words because cho tia like this is your nói tia có chia cú xài này ya. So it's like I give you a riddle, chế you have to kind of figure it out. So it is called the riddle. It is a riddle, but then an easier way to look at it is luzhai, as in hidden words, because it's like a synonym. So it's like Sifu said, you're guessing what it is. So an example, yeah. So the first example I'm gonna say is tao kế có xe gì đảm bảo Long chỉ công xe cá sĩ rồi. Vốn lên từ sáng guess. Tao kế có xe gì đảm bảo Long chỉ công xe cá sĩ rồi.
Raise your hand if you want to guess.
Yes.
Oh.
Close. Very close.
Good guess. You guessed the instrument.
The word 贡献价值高 is 路仔，或者切菜 is the word 切菜 for it 都是更了。佢哋 the 嘅我係 we have three examples then because 佢係得更啦嘛，佢係多啲，只用嚟中傷，冇做人努力諗嘛， this year, I would like to say that Titsai is and Banlu is it's all based off Zhiyi. It's all what your idea is. So to things that non yeah, critical thinking. It's just like it's your idea. It's someone's based on what their idea is. So the things are not the uncle. No, he got kind of he didn't get it right, but then new called Zhiyi good call. So his idea is different from mine. Called there, chơi cái there. Tao cái khó xưa gì đảm bảo lòng sĩ công sự các sự rồi tụi chị canh lại. Chỉ ý nhau there chắc canh lại ý nhau. Nếu chỉ ý there tụi chị not this uncle his idea was yo chắc canh. This she could call chỉ ý is tụi chị canh lại. So the canh player.
So they're interrelated.
Mm-hmm. And then could call second example. My second example is actually my second example is Sai kể đê bỏ y lưu thông mù dê nó đụng đồng. I'll repeat that. Sai kể đê bỏ y lưu thông mù dê nó đụng đồng. This time I give to Cái Yin.
Yeah.
It's a drum.
Yes.
Dundua.
Dundua.
The drum. Okay. It was the sound effects that gave it away.
So yeah, Titsai is basically it's like Sihuju, it's a riddle, and then it's based off and Palu too. Palu and Titsai is based off of Zhiyi, so ideas.
And Palu is kind of like proverb, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Palu
proverb.
can be also part of proverbs too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Next, yeah, Hong Gao, like Mong, Gao in general, yeah, broad general. The next one, the next topic is more of like Mong, yeah. It's more of Hmong music, Hmong songs, or music just in the broad term of music. Mong, can you give us a quick explanation or definition of
You need to talk about when you teach.
Mong?
Yeah, I got you. So sorry to disappoint you. I don't sing, or I don't think I'm good, but I do because I can. But anyways, going with singing, y'all, right? Singing, Hmong, and all that. So at church, I teach students how to play instruments, and there's a very processable way of doing it. We teach it very easily, but to do so would be, all right, so there are certain notes, and within certain notes, within songs, if this word is said, this is when you hit that certain note. A lot of times these kids, they have certain choruses or certain bridges that they really find catchy. And I'm like, all right, if you play these certain chords and you hear these words, this is how it goes. But the thing is, they don't know how those words go, so I would have to say it for them. As ugly as it may sound, the music is pretty, okay? And at least it hides my voice, but within that is how I teach them. It's just, you can legit just translate any English word to a Hmong word. But within just teaching these youngsters here to just show them, hey, this is how we pronounce it. This is the tone for how we sing on this part. And at the same time, to just how much tempo you're going to put into it, how much flow you're going to put into it as well. And it's a whole different gimmick. It's so crazy. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a good world of singing. It's basically just like English, but we use a lot of music with it because we're very expressive.
And what type of Hmong do you teach?
Oh, I teach Hmong green, but I also teach Hmong white as well. It's just
Green Hmong and white Hmong.
yeah. Green Hmong, white Hmong, yeah. Sorry, I say it incorrectly.
Thank you, Mong. And then the last topic, or more like explanation, would be Bahua. And I believe everyone has a different way of interpreting what Bahua is, but my way of interpreting is it's more like it is poetry chanting, but it's more like a rapping style of poetry chanting. So I'll hand that over to you too, if you can give us an example.
I was going to show an example, and I actually put the lyrics up there to show the rhyme pattern. So it goes, the no mu ya lu nong mong, hai nyo rong do jong pong yu, zhe leng tu la gu yi ya, bei do pla yi leng nyo ko, tian yon yo bei yi jong mong. So I'm just going to stop it there, and I'm just say that I color-coded the rhyme pattern, so it's the seventh word and the third word, and it's a consistent pattern throughout. And I just want to show that example because I learned this later from my uncle Van Lo, who does Bahua, who Hai Pa Hua. But and so this is actually a rhyme pattern for hip hop. So ý trong hong mua cầu gì sang cho lâu cho lúa cho ô tế cho mua cho bố cái chai cần the share mình nhỏ lại cho bố hai lú đơn rồi là tại chiều lý cha cho ya take care she bao she khâu sợ the ipa ipa. So the rhyme patterns are more like free form, and they're more internal rhymes. They're more all. It's not as patterned, but it's more rhythmic to the beat. And so I just wanted to show the difference, and then I did like an English version of it right there, but. So yeah, I just want to show a comparison of Pa Hua, Hmong Pa Hua, and hip hop, which I do both now. So.
Thank you. Next question I would like to ask Victor and Chua, or Sifu Chua. What is it important? Why is it important to preserve Hmong oral traditions such as Kutsia, Hungao, Titsai, and Pahua in storytelling for Hmong cultural identity today? Let's be with Sifu Chua Gombe.
Hey, and you can switch back to the original slide.
Okay, the most important part of preserving Kutsia, Balu, Titsai, oral traditions, because in the form of Kutsia, we have different form, like different type, like Kutsia Lutao, Pancha Lutao, Lumaling like the Lutsa, the Kutsia keep the tradition, keep the oral history, and all of the language word, very rich language that we are using on a daily basis that we do not realize that this language are actually coming from this poetry, this traditional oral form. The reason is that because in the past, in history, we, for example, I am a daughter-in-law, and I was being mistreated by my mother-in-law, especially the mother-in-laws. I am a mother-in-law right now, so I try not to mistreat my daughters, because I don't want her to go to the farm and sing about me, right? So, because our culture is indirect culture, we cannot tell anyone about our culture. We cannot tell anyone about our family. Anything in our family remain confidential. So what I would do, because Kutsia is a form of indirect form that I can express my feeling. And when you hear me sing a gay onya, right? You will hear, oh, Sifu Joy is going to hell. She has a abusive mother-in-law, verbally abusive. It hurts. Hmong have a way of saying that verbally abusive hurt more than physical abusive, because verbally abusive it scar your heart, and the only way you can let other people know is by expressing through Kutsia, Lutao. Same thing. When my parents die, I cannot just go cry every day. Through my mourning, through my missing my parents, I sing through the Kutsia, through the Pancha Lutao. If Lutao, I'm just gonna. So Lutao is a form of history, is a form of departure, a form of lost land. So Lutao, and you can express and you can talk in a normal voice, but through the voice of Lutao. So I really strongly support that we bring this type of workshops together and talk about it and break this old tradition song together apart. When I start studying about Hmong culture, that's what I did. I break it apart. I break them apart because in the past, my parents will sing and I would just memorize the song. I have no clue what it is. But when I did my study, going to the research, I went to Laos talking to professional singer and break all of this part together. That's how I understand that Kutsia portrait is a form of language elasticity that we bring in our history and our family life for generation to generations.
Okay, well, my original response to the question, my original answer to the question was going to be really short, but then because of Silikua, it's going to be a little bit longer. So, the reason why I think that mong chả niệm nó cứ chia lũ tàu thế lũ cha tây thiết thành đó why it needs to be preserved is that for example is that even though we're in the modern world and modern times they mong hay mong sư but then people say that you have to change, right? But then you don't have to change. You can learn things and then slowly adapt to it, but then add to it. So then to continue on from Lu Tao, yeah. So especially from a traditional sense for me, from Lu Tao is used in an example, right? So in an example, at a funeral, at a traditional Hmong funeral, the first ceremony that is done is the gay or kwok gay. And when that part is done, the zita gay or the person guiding the deceased soul, he will sing Ija Lu Tao. And Ja Lu Tao though is Ja Lu Tao Sapli or just Sapli. I think it's Sapli, so I'm pretty sure it's called Ja Lu Tao Sapli or the Samu Chopa Choyo Sa Cho you know Chopa Choyo. But it's the song to say that I have told you your path to go to your ancestors. Now you have to wait for the tzikain to come play the song to go take you. So it's not he didn't arrive to their ancestors yet, but then the tzita gay he will sing the song of Lu Tao, and that song is to say, you know, although you went, your kids and your whole family, they prepared everything for you so you can go, you know? So it's like, although you're sad, you have to continue on. Although you left all this behind, you have to go. So going back to the question, whatever mindset that not in the end for everybody, but okay, but in the end, it's Ra Lu Tao is for yes, I okay tall.
Okay. So Lu Tao has a different form of singing. They can sing at the funeral. So like you say, the funeral is to talk about the deceased life and to sending the deceased back to his or her homeland. And also Lu Tao also represent history and family history or departure of your own land.
Yes. Yeah. That's where I was going. Thank you, Sihu.
Thank you. Can I add something from so it says Wisconsin, Madison there. Anybody here from UW-Madison? Oh, okay, a few folks. And then Chua was my professor there, or language teacher there. And so, and Doug, you can switch it back to the panel where it has all our photos on it. But anyways, so just to reference something that I picked up is there's two versions of history. It's one is the version of history that is written and the oral, right? So dating back to when they say history is written by the victors. So when history is written by the victors, when Hmong people were in China and we lost, or when we were considered Miaozi and we left, there's a version of history that's written in those books. And then it's actually a different version of history from what our elders have taught us, which is in our poetry, in our storytelling. And I think that we had discussions about the validity of oral tradition, the history of oral traditions, and history within our oral traditions, right? And that was the only way that we could continue it, because there is things I read about, like our Ndaunda being burned, our history being burned or destroyed. And so for me, the significance of oral traditions is that it was our means of carrying on our history through our oral traditions. So I just want to add that.
Yeah, and one great example of oral tradition, yesterday, Mai was talking, is it Mai? About the cassette. I forgot who was talking, yeah. Mai was talking about the cassette, and it's oral tradition of writing letters to our parents. And I encourage that any one of you, if you have an old cassette and you don't know what to do with it, send it to me, so I can digitize and send a copy back to you. One of my aunts, after my dad died, passed away, all I asked for my sibling is just give me dad's suitcase of cassettes. And my dad has a suitcase of cassette that I saw he is hiding somewhere. So who has dad's suitcase of cassette? So my brother handed it to me, and I went through this audio, really old, in the early 80s. I digitized it. It happened to be one of my great-grandmother who sent it to her daughter, and I found her daughter, which is my aunt. I said, guess what I found? She was like, what? I said, I found an old cassette from your mom to you. So I digitized it, put it into CD, and sent it to her, and she's listening to it every day. So these are oral tradition. Why we say oral tradition? Because Hmong language, Hmong is oral tradition, oral history. We did not have a written system, system until the early 50 RPA, Romanized Popular Alphabet. That is when we start learning how to read and write in Hmong. And I started reading and write in Hmong in the refugee kids as a kid. My mom, my dad would not let us to learn Hmong. He wants us to study English because we are going to the U.S. And back in that, and even when we first came here, our parents' mentality was like, you just study English, study English. I want you to be doing good in English. You're putting the Hmong away. So what I did is I will ask my grandmother for money because a class is $5, right? So I take every month my grandmother will give me $5 so I can go take a Hmong class. And that's how I became who I am now, thanks to my grandmother. So do keep your oral tradition cassette. If you don't have anything to digitize, send it to me. I can digitize and send it to you as our MP3.
Do you have anything to add, Komo?
Yeah, I'll just add something real quick. Question was, why is it important to preserve oral? Okay, so for me, it would be, so for example, my mom is a farmer. Back in Thailand, she would always just farm. And she brings it to the U.S. She's like, hey, come help me garden. For me, I'm only there for two reasons: dig the biggest hole and find some worms because I want to go fishing, right? That's it. And I'm like, Mom, why are we doing this? Even in the winter, she's like, hey, Kong, come help me till the soil. I'm like, it's so hard, it's so cold, why? And my mom said, Kong, I want to farm because it brings me peace. I was like, oh, like I got humbled there real quick, okay? Because I like to troll and joke around, but that got me real good. And I was like, why does it bring you peace? Because she said, from everything that it brought from my homeland, she's brought that skill with her. So what that correlated to me is saying that that is a part of her identity. So to preserve this oral language right here, I believe that it is for me to also know who I am as well, and to know what else to do with it at the same time to, I don't know, just flow with it even more, and to also introduce it to the new generations as well. Because as music modernizes and transforms, so will this language. But with the roots of where it came from, here I am, and let's go far with it.
Wow. Impressive.
No, thank you.
Well, we're getting closer to time, but other than that, I like to challenge you all, so I'm going to throw random questions. So, why do you think our oral tradition, like Gutsia, Titsai, Hungao, is very It's a very broad term, and it's what we, the older generation and newer generation, adapt to. So music or songs are, to us, it's, I wouldn't say it's basic, but we know. But like bahua and stuff like that, right? Why is it not accepted in the newer generation nowadays? Can you explain that?
I wouldn't say it's not accepted. I would say it's hard to understand. Because in order for you to like the bahua or kutsia, you have to understand what it is, especially kutsia. Kutsia captured the vast history and oral tradition and family life. But it also have portrait in there. It also have a different types of form, a different form that there are so many forms that will be covered by Du. I don't want to break his secret, okay? That to make a kutsia. So I can sing the kutsia, and if you don't understand, it doesn't make sense to me, to you. I have a student who hate kutsia, and he came to UW-Madison after a one semester of kutsia. He actually went and asked his grandmother to sing kutsia. He said, "Grandmother, can you sing me a kutsia?" And his grandmother was, "Oh, whoa, whoa, really? Are you for real?" So he would sit down and record the kutsia, and he even brought his grandmother kutsia to me. And I was like, your grandmother is not just any ordinary singer. She is a professional singer. And he was like, oh my God, really? I'm going to start recording her kutsia before she left. And she is 76 years old. And her voice is like those opera singers. Oh my God, it's amazing. Because singing kutsia, it's not from the tip of your tongue. It's from your palates, from your throat. And you have to hold it down. I'm not good at it. I don't know. I only know how to talk about it and to lecture about it. But I'm not a good kutsia singer.
Victor? Yep. Why is it not accepted very well?
So I would like to say that, and that should not for the younger kids. It's not like it's not accepted. It's just that it's really hard to understand because it's harder for them to understand what they don't know. So then, so for like except for me, right? 4 years old, I spoke Hmong at home, and then first grade English all the way until like third grade when I started beginning my shaman journey. And there's like, that's like 4 years in between of English, just straight English. Okay, I can still understand it, but I could it's a ta, so I couldn't speak it. So then, since third grade, I still couldn't speak that much Hmong, but yeah, I started my shaman journey. So then, my supposed to be teacher, she actually sent me recordings of her chants, so I could copy her chants. Yeah, that didn't go that good. Anyways, but so then as I got older, I was like, you know what? I cannot be ignorant and not to actually learn it, because this is kind of off topic too. But then if you so then I knew that already. So then I was like, I can't be ignorant to it. I have to learn as much as I can. So then, look at me now. I speak more Hmong than English, and a lot of Hmong people, they're like, your Hmong is so good. Are you sure you're not born in Thailand? I'm here like, no, I was born here in 2005 in Wisconsin, Sheboygan. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they're just like, okay, like you speak Hmong so good. I'm here like, I didn't speak Hmong that good a long time ago, not like 5 years ago. And then, I don't know. It's just like, oh well. But then, yeah, it's not like it's not accepted, but it is hard to learn. And then, it's the part of where kids, since it is kind of hard, they just push it to the side and then they ignore it. They ignore it, like, although we are Hmong, there's still Hmong people out there. We can learn it as low as we can, or we don't have to learn it, because then they think that the new jaw yo Hmong. There will always be Hmong another day, but in reality, although we're getting more famous, and we're getting a lot more recognition, and there's a lot of artists. Your artists, are the ones who are really mature, and then once we get mature, then so so it's like, although it's not like it's hard to preserve, but then it's just called they don't want to learn it, or they're not passionate to learn it and then practice it.
Yeah, I like what Victor is saying. So I feel like right now it's hard to learn Hmong as well. I have a hard time. For example, the English Bible, very, very pronounceable, but Hmong Bibles are kind of hard, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, so many different tones and everything. But then how I pushed myself to do it was because I had a desire to learn. And my desire came from my parents, their parents. They all passed away. I've never met them before. And my parents love kind of hard, okay? And me, I'm pretty romantic guy. I want to show love, but I don't know how to give love because my parents didn't really show me that. So I go to a church, and it's got so many elderly people, and no one sits and talks with them. I'm like, I got you. Like, let me talk to you. So within that yearning to find love, within that desire, I started to learn Hmong in that sense. And I feel like even though learning is hard right now, with a lot of prayer and hope, I hope that this new generation has a desire to learn, has a drive to like know why you want to learn as well.
We can talk about when you elders in the church and stuff, like that kind of inspired you to.
Oh yep. So basically, just talking with the elderly or the OGs really sparked an interest for me to learn more. And secondly, this is a bit trolling, a little joking, but kind of wanted to pick up girls too in the other language. It doesn't work, okay? But it's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
Let me just expand on you. He told a really nice story to me once that he said one of his motivations was he saw some elders that were lonely at his church and they didn't talk to him, so he would go up talk to them, and that's how he picked up learning Hmong better too, which is a very honorable reason to learn. And picking up, and connecting, courting. Okay, let's say. But one thing about the contrast between Victor and I just want to make is like he's a young person that is learning the elder art forms, and I'm like an old ass person that's trying to do young art forms, still rapping. They're like, why are you still rapping? No, I'm just kidding. No, so, but I think it is because these young people, they love hip hop, and they know it's something that's very inspirational, and like when they hear hip hop in their language, it makes them really motivated to be engaged in their language. Even though they can't speak Hmong, they can actually sing full Hmong songs. They can sing karaoke in Hmong. And I think that that's really beautiful thing. And it's just one step to get that engagement, to see your language as something cool. And then from there on, you can start learning it. So definitely. And then hip hop has always been like talking about social justice and representing your identity. So I think that all goes into something that can inspire them to engage in their cultural identity and learn their history. And so I just wanted to make that connection to, hopefully to those art forms can, that intergenerational connection can happen. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. As much as I would like and we would like to continue, it has come to time. So before we close this panel, I would like to say thank you to all four panelists for your time, for being here, sharing your stories, your thoughts, and your opinions with everyone. Thank you to everyone out in the audience for being here, sitting there, listen. Me, myself, along with the four panelists, I'm sure they will agree that we all did enjoy hearing everyone left in the audience. it's good to have those laugh. Mental health wise, it's good to laugh. So if you just need to laugh out loud. Go for it. But other than that, then we want to say thank you. On top of that, knowing me, Ambrowski, you know me very well. Before everyone sets off, and we're going to go on lunch break, and then we're going to come back for workshop. As always, I am Itu Minyomong, I was born and raised here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but growing up, I was raised up very traditional by my parents, especially my dad. My dad was an artist here at the Art Center long time ago. Some of you, if I point my dad's name out, you're probably like, oh yeah, I know your dad. But some, you might not. If you're curious, go look him up on Google, he'll pop up. But my dad's name is Dane Yang. He is a Hmong musician. So Kutsi play King Kutsi Honda Yani Yamaki. Kutsi to causes out here. Chota Chunya Chot Kim Blah. Tashi to shit there Kutsi Nulalo can Johnny Chi Chua play as much. But you need to poke Kutsi and you don't basically oh, go yan dance. Yes, I'm Dane's daughter. But other than that, then Oli hi, really quick, as tradition, everyone, you set your phone, you look on to everyone. Just that don't everyone, yeah. Talk not pay will not shoot that, a workshop that they shall pay your chin until who knows when. John Yoke, Genia, Nemovamuche, Mudamuka, Chimomo, Chimonging, Jamukadenia, Muvamuche, Comachi Machi kote lochi kota ego ne mutava tsache tsa pani tushe tsa tutsi tsa mitu minyona okay kura chila ka kutao tao me la yin kuka tondao yin ming shi ta ta na okay ke oli ko ha jean shie de no na pe to shin chine ya you need pop out in public, don't be shy, walk up and say hi. And yeah, as always, thank you to you four. Very excited for you to you four. Looking forward to what you will decide to take on in your near future. So
yeah, feel free to ask us more questions too. Yeah, thank you. And that was a form of oral tradition. I just want to say, the way that you just wish us well. That's an oral tradition too.
Yes,
yeah,
it is. It is. Yeah. So in English, it's just basically saying for everyone that from far or near, if you do decide to go back home, because we might not see each other, we might not end up bumping to each other throughout the whole day today. If you do end up leaving, wish you well. Prosperity, health, wealth, everything, and we'll see you around. So.
Good job.